at 4. So I'm going to, at my normal, I will sit around at least until 4 o'clock and answer questions, but I'm not going to be able to answer them past that. If you want to go now, you are welcome to go. Let me see if there's anything. I'm not seeing any other.
Can you go over guard again?
Sure. So a guard, right? When you run a program, the guard, right? There's always this function named, there's always this variable underscore underscore name underscore underscore. It exists. It's part of the Python spec. It always exists when you run a program. It's something the system automatically defines. When you're in a file, when you're executing a file directly, that name gets set to the string underscore underscore main underscore underscore. When you import it, it gets set to the name of the file. So when you do an import walk, this name within the walk file, right, within the walk module, gets set to walk. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to specify actions that happen when we directly execute the file as opposed to when we import the file. So when we directly execute, we come down, name is equal to main, so everything in this file gets executed. When we import it, name is not equal to main. Name would be equal to, well, in this case, untitled2. So if we do an import, well, let me, I think I have to restart the kernel for this to work. So we'll restart that. We will tolerate. Okay. So now when we come in and we do an import, the import's actually going to read through this entire file. But remember, when it reads a function def, it doesn't actually do anything. It just makes note of the function def. When it hits a print statement, it'll print. This should be there. Let's make that there. Right. So when we come down here and do an import, right, import entitled2, it prints here and there, but it doesn't do, and it doesn't execute any of this stuff, because in the import, this variable name gets set to, well, in here, untitled2. However, when we execute this, right, then name equals main, and we execute the entire file. So this is just a way to allow us to cordon off code that we only want executed when this is the main program, not when it's being imported as a module. A lot of times when you're writing a module, you use this to put test code in so that you can check your code to make sure it's right. But then when somebody else imports it, they don't have the burden of all this stuff running behind the scenes. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So when you're calling something like random.randint and you don't provide a seed, where does the computer get the seed from?
I'm not sure what it uses.
Because it's got to be like changing, doesn't it?
It could be changing. Most of the times it certainly appears like it's changing. A lot of times it'll, you can specify, I don't know if I have the random, I don't know where random is. I'd have to look in the random code to see what it's doing. A lot of times what it'll do is it'll read the clock.
Oh, okay.
It'll try to do something that's actually random. Something that makes sense.
Thanks, by the way, for the explanation.
Good.
Okay.
Hopefully it will.
Have a nice day.
Okay.
I think that answers my question.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's, you can generally rely on it. If you want to be really careful, you read the clock and set it that way yourself, but that's up to you.
Okay.
One more thing is that this is supposed to look like a random process. So even being off by 1 can make a completely different sequence. So that's a good thing to know. Being off by 1 doesn't shift you 1 in the sequence. It gets hashed into something that maps randomly into some part of the sequence.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So a minor change makes a big difference. Oh, you're welcome. All right, we do have office hours running right now. Kristen, as usual, is on the ball. Let's see. I would like to see, it's not really all that hard to type if name equals main and then indent for the rest of the program. So I would really like to see the guards being used in homework 4. I don't remember whether we have them in the rubric or not. Excellent. Yeah, I saw it there, Kristen. That's why I just said it out loud. I was running by your cue. All right, anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to go and try to meet up with some open source, with an open source group online. All right, thank you, everybody.